Yeah, we're live.
Hello.
How do you usually start your lives?
Oh, I just say, hey there, people who may or may not be watching it or are watching afterwards. How's it going?
How is it going? I'm so excited. I'm assuming most of you guys know who this is. Michelle Wilson. She has her own channel.
Say my name, say my name.
So, and I've been trying to do, hey. Oh,
Hello.
Sophie, do you know her?
Hello, ENFP. Welcome. Hi.
You know her?
No.
Oh.
Maybe I do. Maybe she's a silent watcher.
Did you put your MBTI type in the title?
Mhm.
Is that how she knows? Oh, okay. Yeah, you should go check out her channel. So we've been working on making an introduction video for her because we've been filming since we tried to set up meeting. Well, we've been working on meeting for what, 2 months now?
Yeah. We decided to meet on February 15th.
Okay. February 15th. Yeah. So this has been a long time in the process, and during this entire time of talking and trying to get together and meet, we've been filming videos. So we've been editing an introduction video to her to my channel, and we have not been happy with anything we did. So we decided to just go live. Do you think my lens is dirty?
It does look a little like dusty.
Hang in there, folks. Oh, we've got 6 watching. I'm gonna
Hello.
wipe the
Hello,
screen.
watchers, creepers. Oh, just kidding. You
Ah,
came to
that's
that.
better.
Definitely made a difference.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, what we thought we would do tonight is we want to talk about what we expected. Hi there.
Hi.
It's Maria. We want to talk about what we expected of each other because she has her own channel. So I kind of had an idea of who she was, and we talked so much. So,
and obviously you have a channel.
Yes.
So I know a lot about her just by creeping on her videos.
Yes, we've been friends for a long time. So what we expected versus how we are in person. Do you want to go first?
Okay, so one thing that I expected is that she would be really, really frank and honest. However, she's not as frank and honest with me as I would expect her to be.
I'm honest.
Yeah, but you're not as frank and direct as I expected you to be. I think you're nice to me.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've heard me talk to Nathan.
I have.
Yeah.
You don't talk to me like that.
No. No, I messaged Nathan the other morning, and yeah, Michelle thought it was a little frank.
She was like, this sucks. I was like, whoa. Hey, that's all right, though. You don't tell me I suck, so.
Yeah, could you handle it if I was as frank
maybe
with you?
I say that I would like people to be frank.
But if I said to you what I said to Nathan the other morning, would you appreciate that or no?
I would be fine with it. Probably.
She coached me on how to say it differently.
Hello, Jen, the IN.
Do you recognize her?
No.
Okay. Jen, you should go check out her channel. Jen comments on my videos. She has a channel of her own too. So I know who she is. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out too.
Yeah.
I forgot to put I didn't get the link in the description, but we'll add it. Or you can just search Heart of Michi. That'll find it. Like one word. Heart, like Heart of Michi.
Yeah. And then we'll put it in the description. Yeah. So you, what I expected versus what you are, I feel like it's been almost spot on.
Okay.
Because in your videos, so I went to her channel, and I am pretty careful about who I work with because I always want it to be a long-term relationship. The people that I work with and that I do videos with, I want it to be a long-term relationship, that they can be reoccurring characters in my YouTube. And so, hey, Anna. on my YouTube channel. And so she, a long time ago, she said she started watching me in October, which is when I started posting videos, actually in September, the end of September. So like almost immediately probably before I even had 100 subscribers.
Yeah, but she hit her subscriber count, so I had no idea how many subs she had.
Oh, yeah. So that would have been more interesting if you had known.
It would have been.
Because you could remember
but
now.
you kept it a secret from all of us.
Well, it was around 100, I think, probably. And so we became friends in my comment section. And then if you guys have been around my channel for a while, Nathan and I made a video, and we had some really strange eye contact. What was that, in December?
You were staring at him.
I was staring, which turns out is just a tendency of mine. I stare all the time.
She does.
Hey,
hello.
And
he was just like not looking anywhere at you at all. Like most of he tried, you could tell. Like he made the occasional glance at your eyes, but you were just staring like this.
Yeah. So Michelle made fun of us in my comments, and we were friends by that point. And I was like, listen, lady, it's not as easy being on this side of the camera as you might think. And she was like, well, feel free to go check out my videos and make fun of me. And that was the first time I realized that she had a channel. And so I went and checked out her videos, and turns out I actually had watched her videos in the past. Somebody had, one of her followers had posted in my comments a video of hers, and I had gone to her channel and looked at it. And the comment actually said, you need to collab with this girl. So when I have no idea. I don't remember.
Whoever's my subscriber that did that, I owe you.
It must have been on my, like, one of my very first videos, because it was very early on. Oh, really? So we might be able to go back and look. But so what was I saying? So I watched her videos a little bit, and I was like, I think I like this girl. And so I watched some more, and then I started just blowing up her comments.
Yep. Literally blowing them up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like a million comments. And then I said, I really like you, because I was going from video to video. And I was like, I really like you. And we're both pretty small channels. I was like, I don't know what we could do together, but I've got my eye on you. And so then we took the conversation offline onto WhatsApp, and we just started having conversations. And Michelle can talk a lot, so we got to know each other.
Who, me? I've never talked in my life.
So, yeah, I really liked her. And then we ended up, what was it, like a week after we started chatting on WhatsApp, we decided we were gonna meet in person. Yeah.
Hi. How do you say that? Mot Jabba Jarby.
Oh, I recognize you.
I hope I didn't butcher that terribly. I'm sure I did. Mot. With a j sound? Okay.
We've got a puppy over here. Come here, Chase.
You know you want to say hello. Hello, hello.
LJ, hey, what were we talking about her about this weekend?
We were talking about INTJs.
Yeah.
The conversation came up.
Oh, you have to start.
Hi, him. Sorry.
So, is there anything else you expected of me that turned out to be so?
Okay, so...
Oh, wait. I wasn't done with mine. So I expected that you would be really chill and very easy and very comfortable to hang out with. I actually had visions of traveling the world with Michelle, which now that I've hung out with her, I still have visions of traveling the world, doing photography.
That could be so fun.
Yeah, so you're very, very easy to hang out with.
Oh, that's good. I feel like I come off a little strong sometimes.
No.
Okay, good.
Only when I was super direct with Nathan was the only time you were like, oh, wait.
I got on my high ground there for a little bit. Things that I expected that you are. Easy to talk to. I expected you to be really easy to talk to. Even before we started messaging each other, I was like, She seems pretty, like, down to earth. I bet it'd be easy to talk to her. That was real. She is very similar to how she is in the videos. Katie says she's different, but maybe she acts different around Katie than me. She's pretty adaptable. Or maybe I just have terrible sense of perception. So who knows?
I don't know. You're super friendly. When Nathan and I hung out, he said that I'm just overly friendly to people that we meet. You are.
How so? What made that?
Last night when we were ordering dinner, you made a mistake. I don't know what you did, and you apologized like 5 times. It wasn't even a big deal.
Okay, no, because what I had done was said that I was going to pay for her food. And then when the lady told me how much it was, I was like, that's not possible. That's like double what my meal costs. Of course it was double what my meal cost.
So, but why?
I was
why
more
did
so
you
embarrassed that I like said that I would pay for something and then forgot and then was like surprised by how much it cost. Pretty embarrassing.
I would have just laughed. It wouldn't have been embarrassing to me.
I was so embarrassed. I was like, how did I do this?
That's funny. What else?
It is live, Queen.
So what else? We hung out in Nashville all weekend long, so that was fun. We have the same taste in music.
We do. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting you to be more into like pop music.
Interesting. And
I don't know why.
I had no idea what you would like, so I was just taking her to spots in Nashville that I liked.
Yeah. But we found this one band that was so good. It was like an almond tribute band, the Allman Brothers. And they're like a jam band, like progressive rock type, but more like southern version of progressive rock.
I think we sat for, hey, Mike. Oh, we talked about you too. I forget what we talked about, Mike.
We talked about you because you're an INTP. It came up because we were kind of going back and forth with you, Mike, at the live stream for Flow State.
Oh, yes.
A couple days ago.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Nothing too terrible.
But yeah, we sat and listened to music for hours and not talking at all.
Yeah. We went to this one bar downtown, and we listened to one band without moving. We listened to their entire set from start to end without moving, and we were just totally transfixed by the music. We talked a little bit in between them playing songs to guess what their types were.
Yeah, we were typing the entire band. I love hanging out with people that are into the personality types because we can talk music and not talking sounds great.
Yeah.
I would have loved it.
We did plenty of talking though as well. Mm-hmm. Does ESTP plus ENFP equal ESFP or ENTP? Probably both.
Probably both. Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, the Allman Brothers is who that band was like playing covers of, I think. And it's ALLMAN. Also, hi.
Yeah, we talked about you as well.
We did. You came up in conversation. Ooh.
I think we probably talked about everybody.
I know. We talked about a lot of people. Mm-hmm. We talk a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you, LJ. That's exactly it.
Female ENTP. I told her how you and I met.
Having a little debate in talking with famous people's comment section.
Mm-hmm. She was appalled. That was a memorable conversation, that is for sure. Oh, you're stuck on that story. Yeah, she did pay for my meal.
Because she got all these magazines for us to make a video that's going to be coming up soon. We did like vision boards, and we just cut up a ton of magazines, and she paid for all the magazines. So I had to get her a meal because it wasn't even close to how much it was. It was disbalanced, unbalanced words. English. Can I speak that?
Which, by the way, I think you guys are going to love to see the difference between my vision board and her vision board. It's like the difference inside the mind of an NI user versus the mind of an E user.
It is, mine's insane. Okay, no lie. As I'm like, I have it all set up, right? And everything relies on everything else being in place for it to be glued down. Like, I couldn't just glue down a layer and, like, work up. I had to glue down all these random pieces and never put all the glue on one spot, on one piece of paper. It was a mess.
The thing is, we were cutting out these ideas out of the magazines, and then we started putting it all together, and I made a list of things I wanted to cover, like, family, traveling, finance, creativity, skills. Like, I made a list of everything I wanted to cover on my board, and then all the things I had cut out, I put into, like, a pretty presentation of the things that were going on in my vision. I don't think Michelle found a bad idea that she had when she was cutting out pieces. So she put everything that she cut out onto her board. So she hasn't taken me through the whole vision that she has, but I'm fascinated to.
I complimented her, so I was like, yours is really pretty. And she's like, she looks at it for a little while and is like, that right there, this one picture, that's pretty.
I don't think you were going, I mean, it's like visually nicely put together, like you have some wording that's pretty, but I think you were going in for the ideas.
Yeah, I was totally going for the ideas. And they're all organized.
Oh, they are?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're organized by parts of my life. Hello. Oh, we should say hi to the other people that snuck in. I saw Melanie snuck in. Hi.
Hey.
And the introverted thinker. Hi. I feel like one other person snuck in.
Do you know the introverted thinker?
She just subscribed to me.
Oh, okay.
I know that Flow State is subscribed to her.
Your mom watched the entire video of me. So wait, shall we tell? Hey, Brittany, is it okay if I tell this story of how you and I met? I wish you could tell your side of it, because I'm going to be completely brutally honest on my side of it. Is it fine? You're good? Okay. Yeah, this is fascinating. So, what?
There's a little bug on your shoulder.
Oh.
It flew away.
Eric made a video of me on the type police, and Brittany found me in the comments, and she was not a fan at all. And so she started like saying all these things. Brittany, I don't even necessarily remember what you said, but I remember you and I having a conversation. Nathan, you're here. We're having fun on the naughty wall. So Brittany said some things, like, I really upset her for some reason, or she was upset about the video, and so she started saying these things that were, I could tell she wasn't a fan of mine at all, and she just kept having some really big comments about me. And so I asked her, I said, are you always this? Brittany, what did I say? Brittany, we need to tell the story together. I don't remember it well. I said, are you always this triggered by someone, or is it just me?
Abrasive.
I called you abrasive? I did call you abrasive, didn't I?
Like a nail file.
But that was before, because I think my initial comment to you was, does everyone piss you off like this, or is it just me that inspires this? So we ended up having a good conversation, and we've been friends ever since. Started out rough, but it ended up pretty nice.
Such an opposite situation from our own.
You and I?
Yeah. One day you'll hate me.
Chris, hey.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Chris. Hey, Raul.
Female ENTP, if you want to type it out, I'm sure people would be interested.
Oh, that's less detail than her side.
Yeah, it wasn't the whole detail. Okay, so is there anything else you were expecting of me that turned out to be so, or turned out not to be so?
Most of the things I can think about are the ones that didn't. So I was worried Like, we were going out downtown. I was worried that she was gonna wanna, like, talk to a lot of people and approach a lot of people and be really, like, engaged in the environment, and you weren't.
No, we were just talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You even, like, shut down some people who tried to talk to us. Well,
That is true.
more than just the one guy.
Yeah, you were more friendly than I was.
Mhm. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, catch me on a different day. Sophie asked if you like writing. Yeah, she's a
I
writer.
do like writing. I write. I'm writing a 6-book novel series.
Yes.
It's not a huge undertaking at all.
So listen, before I met, so I have a sister that's the same type as her, ENFP, and I knew that I was going to like you. I figured I would like you when I met you, and she's been telling me the stories of her life and just hanging out with her. She is as fun and sweet to hang out with as I predicted. And I will say that it is a little annoying. Like, only because I don't understand how to do it. I don't know how to be like that.
Fear of confrontation works like a charm.
Maybe that's my problem.
Fear confrontation, and you'll be a lot nicer and
Okay.
easygoing with people.
I'm pretty easygoing until I don't want to be.
Do you remind me of someone I know? Actually, no. You don't remind me of anyone I know.
Really?
Really. You're unique.
Because she's been getting into socionics, and so according to socionics, I think I'm an ESFP.
Or an SEE.
SEE, yes, which is ESFP. So do I remind you of the ESFPs in your life or the ESTPs in your life?
Well,
wait, female ENTP says that's my problem. I take confrontation to the next level.
That's great.
Yes, you do. You gotta let some things slide, honey.
Yeah. No, Ibrahim, the talking about the relations aspect of FI versus the FI in MBTI, because I even think in MBTI she's still an ESTP, at least I think, but in socionics for sure you have FI, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Hi,
Megan.
we've had a couple more people sneak in, I think. ENFP homeschool mom, hi. No. Not all ENFPs are afraid of confrontation. I don't know how much you guys know about Enneagram, but I am a 9, which is the most afraid of confrontation.
Yes. So she actually reminds me, hanging out with her reminds me of a combination. I have like 3, because your wing function on Enneagram is type 2, the helper.
Yeah, that's part of my tri-type. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she reminds me of my ESFJ sister, my ENFP sister, and then my best friend in high school was an ENFP, is an ENFP. We're still friends. But my ENFP friend from high school was a lot more aggressive. Like, her and I would have to fight for our place in the world a little bit because she was a lot more confrontational.
Yeah. I'm very much. Well, when I was younger, I was more confrontational because I was like, well, I was considered opinionated. I wasn't confrontational, but I would share my opinion like way too easily.
You would?
Mm-hmm. I would. But in 10th grade, I was told to write we sat in English class and sat in a circle, and we gave everyone in the class a word that we had to write an essay about, and I got opinionated. Because I would always be like, actually.
Interesting. So you trained yourself out of that.
Yeah.
Do you still think that in your head?
Mhm.
Huh. You should tell me what you're thinking.
I am pretty judgmental in my mind. I try not to be because I don't want to be confrontational. Oh, what's your Enneagram?
7, wing 8. I'm not sure about the wing, but I for sure am a 7.
Yes, she is.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it could be
What?
to the helper. Do you think? I think that's in your tri-type. You even talk about how you just want to help people.
So it could be 7 too.
Well, because wing and tri-type are different. So wing is like the flavor of your main Enneagram. It's all complicated. It's all crazy.
Why is none of this easy?
Because people aren't easy. They're
That's true.
complicated.
That's true. So I might be 7 wing 8 and then a tri-type 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love helping people. And that's what I spend a lot of time thinking about.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
She talks
Chris,
about it a lot.
Chris, do I remind you of you much at all? Or you're still working to try to figure this all out? Do live streams make you nervous at all?
When I'm alone, yeah. Because I never know how many people are going to be there. But I actually like all you. I wish you guys could all be talking to us.
Yeah,
That'd
it would be a
fun.
lot more comfortable if I could have you all talking to me. Listen, so I don't mind making videos to the camera. I don't mind talking to the camera, but just me being here by myself, or even here with you, because everyone is saying something. I don't have an easy time keeping up with what people are saying and talking to the camera at the same time. And then also when I'm in a conversation with a big amount of people, I like to be a responder kind of person and not take up the time. So yeah.
Interesting. Well, I think part of what got me over like talking in front of people that I can't see and are just typing is that I was a trainer for 6 months and I was a virtual trainer. So my job was being on camera, talking to people, teaching them, and keeping up with comments because even though they were all on webcam, they almost never spoke up.
You're the same way, Megan?
Oh, they make out. LJ, I'm actually not surprised by that at all. I'm a little surprised by Megan.
Well, yeah, for some reason I thought you did do yours live, Megan. But we also discussed how I'm extremely confident in the physical world. I never worry about taking up space. And when we were in Nashville, she was so nervous about taking up too much space with her bag because we had to walk around with our bags for about 2 hours. And she kept mentioning how that made her so nervous. And it never makes me nervous to take up space in the world. I assume people are happy to have me in their space. But when it comes to ideas, like people taking up space in a conversation with my ideas, I'm not nearly as confident with my ideas as I am being there physically.
Right. And I'm the exact opposite. Like, I'll throw ideas out there all day. I don't care if you like push back on my ideas. That's great. But if I'm like getting in the way of people physically, that really bothers me. Like, I really don't. I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I could accidentally hurt them. It's just crazy. Well, that is something I would really like, is for people of different types to just talk more often, especially across the intuitive sensing divide, because that doesn't happen that often. It's more so now. Like, I think in the last 6 months, we've seen more and more people come out as being sensor types, which is really good. Like the ISTJ, that no one believes is an ISTJ, Curtis, who is the most ISTJ I know. Or if you're in socionics, he would be an SLI. 100%. There's no hiding it. And people are like, he's too NE. I'm like, no, he just likes using his NE. He's not that good at it, and he does not do it all the time.
You know what? You know how, what is it, the 8th function that people like to show off, their 8th function? Mm-hmm. I noticed you do it, and my sister Amy, who's an ESFJ, she does it too. She likes to show off her SE that
What
she
do I
observed.
show off in my SE? Give me an example.
When we were out in Nashville, like, you would observe some things that, well, let me first say, I think with my ideas and my NE that sometimes I feel like I have this brilliant idea and then you play it off as if it wasn't even a brilliant idea, which makes me realize
Oh,
it wasn't.
really? Like what?
Well, I
need
can't think of them
examples.
right now.
Oh my
If it comes up, I'll think of it. But I
Okay.
remember when we were sitting watching that band, you had some observations that seemed just like givens to me.
Oh, weak SE, sad times.
I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, Mike, I haven't had anyone question my type yet either. Knock on wood.
People have thought I'm all different types, but I definitely the definition of FI and socionics makes so much sense to me. Oh, Megan Lavota's dark side. Let's hear about that. We can have a conversation about that.
Oh, well, Ibrahim, we're talking about eighth function in MBTI, but in socionics, what would it be? It would be the role function in socionics. Is kind of the equivalent. It's kind of, not all of it is fully translated, but there's a lot of like crossovers between the two. That's something I'm gonna cover on my channel here pretty soon. Is the crossover between the function roles. Hey, little cutie.
We've got the neighbor's dog is right here.
He's camera shy.
He has no idea.
Puppy. No, he's walking away. He's shy. Mike is very INTP.
Yeah, I've watched some of your videos, Mike.
Very.
Yeah. How about my husband? Was he what you expected?
He was pretty much exactly what I expected. I'm waiting to get him going on something. But he made fun of me already, so I already feel that supervision.
What did he make fun of you for?
Something when we were at his mom's house and we were playing Rook.
Yeah, Rook.
Yeah, he made fun of me in some way that I was like,
You caught on to that game really quickly. She was better than her teammate, which wasn't that hard to do.
My teammate was very impulsive.
Yes. Car is an INTP.
Oh, what type would we guess the dog is? Introverted for sure. Maybe ISTP.
But a secret bully.
Yeah, ISTP. Introverted secret bully.
Is Nathan still on?
Nathan is a secret bully. I am an ISTP. It's pretty obvious. You're right, Queen.
Should we set this light back now that it's getting dark? It's so. Oh, but now it's fine.
If we move,
so we just have to sit back.
I don't know. That's not comfortable. But we should work on our posture. No, it still feels like it's here. I'll move it. Well, we can't move it too far back because I didn't plug in the extension cord. I just plugged it in.
Okay. Bear with us, folks. It'll just be bright. Okay, what else is interesting about the two of us being together? We were working. This is funny. And I think I'm going to put this in a bigger place in a video that I talk about. I don't know how yet. But we were coming up with all kinds of ideas. And she just started writing down a million ideas on this whiteboard. And I was like, slow down. Let's take it one idea at a time and figure out how it's all going to work out. And she was like, she didn't even pause. She said, no, this is how I work. I was like, alrighty then.
Because I didn't want to forget them. They were good ideas.
They were good ideas. But one just kept leading to the other one. And I was overwhelmed with the first idea. The second one came along. And I was like, all right. And then 5 later. And I just can't even imagine keeping up with this.
Nathan was keeping up, weren't you, Nathan?
What would we change about the other?
I wouldn't change anything about you.
I'm sure I can
that
come up with
evaluative look on her face, like she's like, let me actually think of this and come up with.
Wait, so you're trying to avoid this? That was a good question. This is a fantastic question. What would we change? Well, I'm actually waiting to see how all these ideas play out, so I can't talk on this right now. But if all these ideas play out well, it'll be interesting to see how we work together, because already I'm wanting to take control of the idea and simplify them. But she already told me this is how she works, so I have to sit back and let it all play out.
When we're in a brainstorming session, we let out all the ideas, and when we're in a planning session,
then I can help.
You can take over and tell me the other ideas.
I don't need to take over. I just need to understand how it's going to play out in more detail.
Brittany, that's pretty much exactly it.
What did Brittany say?
She thought that you would like it if I did more of what you said.
I don't think I've been too bossy with you yet.
No, not yet.
I let you get close first, and then I get bossy. That's not true, though. I'm bossy with people that are kind of far away from me, and I don't care if they care that I'm bossy or not. And then I'm bossy with the people closest to me. But the people that I'm still trying to allow them to adjust to who I am, I try not to be bossy. I think that's how I work. I don't do this strategically. I think that's how I work, though, because I am bossy.
What would I change?
Maybe I'm not bossy, though. Nathan, am I bossy? He's bossier than I am, isn't he?
Nathan is bossy.
I'm bossy or you're bossy, Nathan?
Persuasive. That's a good word for it.
A buffer.
What would I change?
Persuasive. Oh, bossy. We like to tell people what to do. Push people around.
No, Queen's saying because Queen is one of the most bossy people out there.
Oh, really?
She's great.
You've been studying me all day. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Your observations are always so fascinating to me. You're pretty spot on with a lot of your...
I guess I would like you to get with me on these like crazy ideas and follow down the rabbit hole, because...
Me?
Yeah,
I do.
So.
More?
Because then we can rule out the really crappy ones by finding the better ones.
I do not know how I could possibly follow you down the road. I've been following. Trust and believe, folks. I've been following.
I'm surprised that she didn't say, like, oh no, you did say, stop being so idea-driven and be a little bit more action-driven.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because you do make stuff happen. I've been in your life long enough to see you have an idea and see the follow-through happen. So I'm really excited. I think this relationship can work very well.
Me too. Ooh, Nathan asked who's taller, and I want you guys to guess before we reveal who's taller.
Set up straight. LJ has worked with a lot of ENFP.
Yeah, that's an ENFP flop. But for me, I have to get the ideas out and sometimes let the bad ones out in order to find the good ones. And so sometimes I need... Maybe we could just plan brainstorming time so I'm satisfied. That's separate from planning time.
Well, as long as we don't get any more ideas and we just follow through on the ones we have, because we need a consistent theme through the channel, like everything's going to have to work to work it out. So no more ideas. Your fun time is over.
Well, I can ideate within the ideas that we already have.
Yeah.
I can focus where my ideas are going.
Okay.
I can do that.
All right.
I can try. Yeah, Lou's hair is much taller than mine.
Does it bother you that I haven't washed my hair since Saturday?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I just have because I really don't like my hair getting greasy, but your hair doesn't get greasy.
Well, because it's just been up in a bun.
Yeah. My hair gets really greasy. Oh, right, exactly, Brittany. Don't do you. Yep, I know. Any can be quite a bit much. I know. I'm quite a bit taller than her, like what, 4 or 5 inches?
How tall are you?
5'9".
Yeah, and I'm 5'4".
So like 5 inches taller.
Whatever you do, don't have fun. Dry LJ, I don't even do dry shampoo. I am not even. Yeah. I'm embarrassing.
Not embarrassing.
What else is interesting? I feel like we should talk about everything that we observed about each other, because I always find that very interesting.
We were talking about the eye contact yesterday. I always thought she's making eye contact. Like, I know that she's like observing, but it is just like she is looking you in the eyes, like steadily. But she said that she's like observing all of me.
Yeah, I don't think I'm looking in your eyes. I'm just watching what you're saying and watching your face. Because I know, yeah, so I'm not trying to make eye contact. I'm just watching the delivery. I use my eyes as a way of understanding what you're saying as well.
And that just distracts me.
Yes, but she's been trying really hard. I've noticed her trying really hard to make eye contact. You're not really or you haven't been supernatural with it. I can tell when you're trying to make eye contact.
Because it's just like a deadpan stare. Because when I'm looking, I'm not seeing through my eyes. I'm seeing the thoughts in my head. So, like, even looking at you, I'm looking through you. It's like that Beatles song. I'm looking through you.
Hey, can you guys still hear us okay? The neighbor is weed eating. We can take this inside if we need to.
They're doing their lawn.
It's fine. Okay. When we were typing the people on the stage too, there were some very obvious high NE users on the stage.
And high NI users.
Yes. Yeah. It was so much fun studying the people and trying to figure out what type they are.
I know, just by...
It's very fascinating because one of the bands we were listening to, how many members were in that band? Like
8,
7
9.
or 8? Yeah. And no, that's not the band I'm thinking of. The one right before them. There were like 6 on that one.
I think it was 6.
So even the whole stage was moving around the drummer. Like they would turn around and look at the drummer. So obviously the drummer had a leader personality, but everyone was doing it. They were a fantastic band. They were doing a really good job.
That's the Almond tribute band.
Okay. Yeah. But it was fascinating how they would turn around to look at the drummer to interact on the stage.
He seemed very lead-esy.
What's that? Yeah, we didn't come up with what type we thought he was, did we?
No, we just were like, the Essie is pretty real with that one.
Yeah, and then the lead NEs, they just had that deadpan stare. It was it was so interesting.
So no connection with the eyes with the NE users.
Yeah, so the one with the band that had like the 8 or 9 members to it, the lead singer was high NE user, and it was fascinating. We think he was an ENTP because he was actually in charge of everything, yet he was barely doing anything. So when he came on stage, you could see that he was the leader. He looked like Charles Manson kind of. Yeah. But he was in control of everything, yet he was not even doing anything. He looked like the puppet master, and he had that deadpan stare. when he was playing. It was so interesting.
Because the thing about high NE users, when they're playing their music, and high SI users too, so I guess anyone on that valued NE-SI axis, they like have to go into their head in order to like keep on the music. Like they're in their head playing. Like there was this drummer that was definitely lead introverted sensing, and his eyes were just staring straight ahead blankly at nothing. But it was different than the NE user who was doing basically the same thing, but just not the same thing. How do you describe the difference
between the INFP and the lead NE?
No, between that that guy that was SI lead, the drummer, you know, the one with the band that were all wearing suspenders.
Oh, this was another fun show. Oh, let me set the scene for you. So, there was an INFJ. I'm pretty sure it was an INFJ was the lead singer. He was so fun to look at visually. He had shoes that matched the color of his guitar, and then there was a big bass. What do you call that?
A stand-up
bass that was the same color as his shoes. Then he wore a blue polka dot shirt, and he was really tall, and he had white hair. So visually, and everyone else was dressed in white button-down shirts, had suspenders on. They looked very churchy. So this was, except for the lead NE who was playing the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And so this band was really interesting to watch. Like it was just pleasant for my eyes. And then there was this lead NE person who didn't belong there at all. But the INFJ kept looking at him, was obviously enjoying the fact that this lead NE person was enjoying playing because he was not showing any emotions at all. The INFJ wasn't showing any emotions at all. He was wearing sunglasses, but he would smirk when he looked at it was an older guy that was not dressed to the standard of everyone else. Now, what was your question? So this band was just visually so much fun to look at, and he had a great voice, the lead singer did.
What I was asking is the difference between the eye looks from the drummer and that NE guitar player.
Oh, not the same.
So how was it different? Because I can't think of the words. Because they both look like they were not looking at anything. Like they look like they were in their heads. But one was clearly SI. One
looked more spaced out. Like that lead NE looked more spaced out. And this doesn't even make sense, but had more of a hippie look in his eyes.
Like a stoner.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
But then the SI user looked very mechanical, kind of.
He did.
Yeah.
He was like, but I can't even match his eyes because mine move around too much.
And then is there a good way of explaining that bass player?
We couldn't decide, but he's a ETP, but we couldn't decide if he was. Oh no, you thought he could have been ESFP as well. I thought he was ENTP. He just seemed flamboyant like an ENTP.
Not like an ENT. He was so present. He saw everyone in the crowd. He was putting on a show with his body. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
He was hilarious. He could have been very well ESFP now. He just was like the most flamboyant of them all.
Yeah. And then we saw a band. It was just a woman and a guy, and it was very fascinating. We think the guy was an ISTP, and the entire time, so the woman had an incredible voice.
Mm-hmm.
And
she did.
The entire time he tried to do everything in his power to make her look good. And it looked, so from their interactions, I don't necessarily think they were a couple. Do you think they were?
I think they could have been, but
They could
maybe
have been
not.
a couple.
There was nothing, like, they weren't touching each other, doing anything, like, overtly coupley.
No.
But he was building her up a lot.
Yeah. He was doing everything in his power. And then I've noticed this about Carr, but he wasn't an INTP, but Carr likes, had a friend when he went to grade school, and that he still talks about when they would play basketball on the basketball court. Carr liked to be on his best friend's team, who was an EP. And because he would always pass the ball to him to make him look good. So, and Carr's joy came from making his friend look good, even though Carr didn't get the glory at all. Like, it was just the knowledge that he made the other person look good. And this, we think ISTP kept doing that to the lead singer. Like, picking songs that made her look good, saying things that obviously gave the attention to her.
Yep.
It was fascinating.
Yep. Everything revolved around her.
I have to say this.
Uh-oh.
The bass player that was flamboyant, he had a big booty.
Fat bottom boys.
Yes, and he was moving his body. He didn't come up, like, it didn't look like he was trying to be flamboyant, but just how he was moving his body. Brilliant. It was such a good show.
He was fun to watch.
It was such a good show.
He was getting into playing that stand-up for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, secret talents. Somebody in the comments can play stand-up bass.
Where were they? Megan, are you asking about the band? It's in Nashville. So my plan is, anytime anyone comes into town, I'm going to do that same thing, where we stay in Nashville for 2 days and explore Nashville, and then come to my house the rest of the time. Because we had so much fun.
Yeah, Nashville was great. Mm-hmm. Yee. You know what else is close?
Come to Nashville, Megan.
Chicago is close. I'm trying. If we could meet up in Chicago this summer, that would be fantastic.
How do we both react to people who say that the personality types don't really exist, or that the MBTI is a lie? How do you?
Well, I have a lot of experience with that because my boyfriend is not into MBTI. He does not like it, and he thinks that although there are some things to it, that it's like a waste of time. There are very few people I've ever experienced who said personality is a lie. I don't think anyone can deny that there are differences in personality. I mean, how we act and behave and think is different. Sure, some people could be the same. And so it's like, hey, if you're not interested in it, cool. I'm still interested in it, and you're not going to convince me not to be interested in it. But I'm not going to try to convince you to be into it either. Though with my boyfriend, I do try a little bit.
Yeah. And me, so I have a family member that mentioned that she doesn't like the fact that I'm so into MBTI. And obviously, I'm building a YouTube channel around the topic. And so when I was in the conversation, when she approached me that she doesn't like this at all, I just went over in my mind. I was like, how to handle this, because obviously I'm not going to not be. I've learned enough about it that I'm pretty into it. I mean, I'm making a YouTube channel about it. And but
All your
I didn't
conversations revolve around it.
I find people so fascinating. So what I did is I just tried to lead the conversation to find out more about her and why she doesn't like it, what about it makes her uncomfortable, and then as soon as the opportunity arose, I just tried to change the conversation. Like, I wanted her to feel heard, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, there's no convincing people who don't like it. You can try to understand why they don't like it, but I mean, it's really not that big a deal.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has things about each other that they don't agree with. Nathan, are you talking to us? Do you think?
Ooh.
Has knowing our MBTI type changed us?
Yeah. I have, because of MBTI, learned about my weaknesses and learned the kind of things that I struggle with. And not that I didn't know that I struggled with them, but it was worded in a way that made it really clear why I struggled with them and also a pathway to kind of overcome them. Not just, you're disorganized, you don't get things done, you always follow like the next best idea. It wasn't until ENFP came around that I was really like, wow, that is me. And I was able to start working on myself and getting myself better.
Yeah. And I think it's changed me in my interactions with people. So when somebody disagreed, just the conversation where somebody was disagreeing with me about, or that they didn't had a problem with me being into the MBTI thing, I could look at it, I could view it from a distance and be like, why do they care about this? Like try to understand, because I think I know what type they are. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it might go against the grain of their FI function, and I could just more objectively, instead of taking it personal, look at it, and I think that helps in so many interactions with people.
I would say the same. Absolutely. It makes you more understanding of people who think completely different of you, and also how to communicate better with people, and appeal to the things that matter to them, such as dealing with a TI lead versus dealing with an FI lead. You can approach those completely differently when you recognize those differences. Because without MBTI, sure, you might see those differences, but it's not as concrete as when you have MBTI to help you kind of categorize it a little bit.
Yeah. DK, the ESTP girl, if I think she's moved on already, just care less than she does and she'll be back.
Yes. Exactly. Moj, I can't remember how we said that earlier. Moj. You should subscribe to my channel because I am doing an entire series on comparing socionics and MBTI. So it's very in depth. I'm working through the similarities and differences between the IMEs, the information elements, and cognitive functions. Do you get paid? You get paid by the gift of my beautiful face.
And then because I brought you two together, I get a percentage. Wait, you're not actually talking money.
No, you can see my lovely face too. I'll send you selfies.
Okay, perfect.
She gets selfies, you get my videos of my face. I mean, it's a deal. Oh, Sophia, that is a great question. I do. And actually, like, my main character is an NI lead, and because of knowing MBTI, I've been able to keep her character more consistent.
Ooh,
by making sure that she is more NI and doesn't get off in any tangents too often, and keeping her on that narrow pathway. My channel name is here. I'll type it in the chat. Oh, I know. I have my thing memorized. I could have done that before. Here, I'll just put the link. If I can type, I'll put the link. Goodness. You want to talk while I'm typing awkwardly?
I have nothing to say. Let me cover for you.
Did I type that correctly? YouTube.com/ Yeah. There's my link. Aw. Hold on, let me try to say this out loud. Would you say that people who know their MBTI type would use that to explain their weaknesses more than using it to work on their weaknesses? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. What do you think about that?
Well, probably just depends on the person. I mean, I would say that if somebody is into self-development and making themselves a better person, then it would make them aware of making them aware of their weakness would be the first step. And then I think it's each of our individual choice whether we want to take it further and work on our weakness. Michelle and I were talking about that lead NE and lead SE people are hard to tell apart, or like ESFP and ESTP, two a developed ESTP and a developed ESFP are really hard to tell apart because we've taken in so much information from the world and we can mold ourselves and we can change, and so it depends how developed you make yourself. And I think that developing yourself is a personal choice.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes life can be so busy, and so you take on so many responsibilities and like things happen that you don't have time or energy to develop yourself. But also it's super easy to get very lazy and not develop yourself because it's very uncomfortable to do it and to do what you don't want to do and to look at your flaws and how you're falling short all the time. Because I mean, I notice if I win at something and I achieve something, but I'm still failing in areas. And then I would like to just bask in the glory of my win, but then in no time, a shortcoming slaps me in the face and I could choose to ignore it and choose to continue. But instead, I mean, it is what it is. And I have to face my weaknesses, which get me into trouble all the time.
Yeah. To kind of add on to that, I have done both where I use it to explain my weakness and to work on my weakness. It just depends where I'm at. Like recently, I have been using MBTI lingo to account for my SE weakness. Like Tim's like, why do you always knock these things over? Blah 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 blah. Why don't you pay attention? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't have SE.
Yeah, female ENTP, you do not put your skills to use at all. You don't. You are so smart, and I've not seen you do productive anything with your smartness. I can't say anything. I have seen you do productive stuff, but you're brilliant. I love talking to you.
No, I agree, Loxon. We were talking about that yesterday, or Sunday, the difference between the FE-FI smile. She has that FE wider smile, and I have the
Well, how did you explain it? Yours is more of a snarl, and mine is what?
More of a grimace. But see, I think I have a very uneven smile, so it's very hard for me to even fake the grimace because this side of my mouth just turns up more easily. It's so hard. No, each role does have a place in the world, and we were talking about that a little bit too. Exactly, the introverted thinker, exactly. We were talking about this too, Sophia, about the difference between judger leads versus observation leads, and I think that it would be harder to tell apart an ESFJ and an ENFJ if they're developed, and an ESTJ and an ENTJ that are developed, because the middle two functions are the ones where you'll start to see you can't tell the line between their intuition and their sensing, and with the observation leads, you can't tell the difference between their thinking and their feeling when they're developed. But I don't think that you would have the same problem telling apart an ESFJ and an ESTJ. Just like you wouldn't have as much trouble telling apart an ESFP as an ENFP, I don't think. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe once you're developed, no matter what your type is, it's hard to tell what type you are. I don't know.
I also think it highlights your strengths. It made me more confident in my strengths. I know that that is my strength. So when I am observing in the world, like, I really trust it, which I think I trusted it before, but just knowing what my strength is, like, it made me, you know, very confident in voicing what I observe even more. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. With my strengths, definitely I'm more comfortable sharing my any and not feeling like I'm being an imposition on people with all my ideas, but also knowing when to share it, by building my FI, knowing like when it's a good idea or not is helpful. I don't know if that really answers the question. I hope it does. Interesting. Introverted thinker says that she's SE polar, and SI polar has an unnerving quality. Interesting.
Interesting. Introverted thinker. What's your type? Did you say you're an INTP? So I notice that anyone that INFPs and ISTPs seem to really love being around me. They're very comfortable with my very blunt observations. It doesn't make them uncomfortable at all. But I have nothing else to say about that. I started as if I had something very insightful, but that's all.
Sometimes there's not that much to say or add.
What was Mike's question? Oh, did we already answer that?
Yeah, he said he liked our answers, and he liked that Nathan answered.
We tried to get Nathan to be on here live, though.
We did try. He came up with excuses like roommates, like being midnight, you know, all these excuses. But really what he was saying is he didn't want to talk to us. And it's cool. I get it.
You're an ISTP and my bluntness doesn't bother you at all? Yeah, Nathan likes my bluntness. The other morning, if you weren't here for the beginning of this story, the other morning I sent Nathan a very, very blunt, I hate this video. He had sent me the introduction video for Michelle, and I hated it. I hated the entire video. Like, ugh, I hated it. I had done a bad job filming, and it was just terrible. And I told Nathan in a very blunt way that I hated it. And Michelle felt bad.
Her words were, "That was terrible."
Yeah. So I deleted the message, and I helped. Yeah, that was the deleted message. Michelle helped me send a kinder, more productive message, and then I told Nathan later in the day that I had deleted the message, and he was like, "I wish you just left it there." He doesn't mind my bluntness at all.
I was just like, it's not that constructive. No, I didn't tell her to delete it. I just said that wasn't very constructive. Mm-hmm. And then she reacted by deleting it and redoing it.
Mm-hmm. I want it to be more productive.
They're talking about the SE polar and SI polar. So, like, INTPs would be unnerved by ENFJs.
Really?
What type did you say Car's sister was?
INFP.
No, the one that he doesn't like as much.
Oh, could she be an ENFJ?
Because we were talking about it and it sounded like she had FE lead. If she's an ENFJ,
That
they
would
could just
make
be
sense.
unnerved by each
Carr,
other.
yeah, Carr doesn't dislike very many people, but that sister and Carr cannot. They just don't know how to bond. It's not that they don't like each other. They have no idea how to bond with each other. In no conversation, you know how like in conversation interacting with people, like you throw out something and the other person throws out, and at some point something's gonna click somewhere. These two, nothing clicks. They come at the world in such a different way that they can't even cross paths nowhere, even though they grew up together. Do INTPs feel they always get attracted to INFJs? You did talk about that, didn't you? I don't know. My INTP, I don't think he has an INFJ friend, and the INFJ friend really likes Carr, my INTP, because it makes him feel very comfortable. Carr's presence is a very comforting presence for any high-strung personality type, I would say. So they like Carr. Okay, so maybe, okay. But they grew up together, Megan. That's what just blows my mind. They should have something in common somewhere. We can't figure out. I have no idea what her personality type is, and Michelle has not met her yet.
No.
In the refilming of the terrible video, that introduction video that we made, we went grocery shopping, Michelle and I, and when we were grocery shopping, Megan, we'd been talking about you. And I was like, I don't know. She was filming me for this refilming of the introduction video, and I was like, I don't know what Megan likes to eat. I was making a storyline out of trying to shop for Michelle coming to my house, and I called her Megan. And
she called me Megan.
She made a terrible face.
She was talking, and I was like,
behind the camera, and I was trying to look at the lens of the camera, and I was like, what is going on?
And I'm just like, you'll realize. She like filmed almost the whole thing before she even realized.
Yeah. So I was.
Ooh.
I've been working on Megan for meeting. How long have I been working on you?
We are proud of you, Megan.
Taylor is here. Is this the first comment Taylor's made? I haven't seen him.
Taylor, when did you sneak in here? You sneaky.
We need your godlight over here, Taylor.
I know.
We almost have it.
Just now. Oh, well, late as usual.
Look at Miss Kitty.
The kitty.
Ew. You fixed the godlight without burning down your house?
I'm impressed. No, actually, I'm not, because you know why? It should have never broke in the first place. I'm disappointed in
you. Someone hasn't talked to me. Oh, I don't know what kind of conversation you guys are having.
Because the INTP had said, like, she reconnected with a friend from that she hadn't talked to in 14 years and was talking about old times together. And Megan's saying that she would be upset if somebody was acting like they knew her when it had been so long. Because NI, with lack of SI, like SI polar, wouldn't be able to see that growth very easily. And they would maybe see like the big picture, but they would want to be taken for who they are right then.
Nathan, any is your polar. If you're an ISTP.
Oh, Sophia, 100%. I love my ST types. You were close, Taylor. Nathan's actually really good at NI.
You mean NE?
No, NI.
Yeah, Nathan is always trying to get us back on track.
Oh, Taylor, you have a system now too?
I'm not going to try to learn your system. Just letting you know now, there are way too many systems in the world, and I'm just so confused. Which, by the way, I had.
You just inverted it. Okay, I can remember.
I got you.
So you're an ISFJ, Taylor.
I'm introverted as well. Look at
Oh, I see. What are you saying?
Look at her in the camera. She's so cute.
Cutie. She's cute. She came in the house this morning screaming.
Screaming.
Meow, meow, meow. Oh, did I cat called her? Meow. She liked that. All feminists beware, no?
Is there anything else interesting to talk about? You know what's really interesting to me? Both Katie and Michelle, meeting people in person is just better. Let's be real. But I've gotten to know, like, because I knew both these people before we met in person, and I thought I knew them personally. And then they start telling me about their life. And everyone you meet has such a more complex story than you would ever imagine. And that is fascinating. Michelle says I use fascinating all the time for things that aren't actually fascinating, but that is fascinating.
She does. Fascinating and interesting are her two favorite words, but no one's going to judge. I only just called it out because, fascinating and interesting are two different levels, and we got to use them appropriately. Well, maybe you should find some more in between words, in between interesting and fascinating.
Why don't you help me?
Okay. Oh, hey, Flow State. Oh wow, a bunch of things just came in at once.
Right, that's what they do. Hang on, I cannot even keep up.
You said you're writing something. What? Oh, Joel, that's a great question. What type is my main character? My main character is an INFJ. And the main antagonist is an ENTJ. And he manipulates the heck out of her. Ooh, do you think people's types change naturally?
Listen, I've heard that. I want to hear what you think about that. So some people think that you can be a type and then switch to another type. Do you think so?
I think you can have moments where your brain doesn't work like it naturally does. But something that I really like about Eric Thor's system, though I don't fully understand all of it, but he talks about what's called a flow state. And the flow state is your natural way of being, the way that you are when you're the most comfortable and happy. And I think.
Can we pause for a second? Can you hang on to that thought? Nathan just called me out for saying all the time. I need to tell that story after you're done with that.
But anyway, Eric Thor talks about the flow state, and I think that you can have moments where you don't think like your normal self. But how natural is it for you to think that way? How stressed does it cause you to think that way, etc.? Are you ever going to be stressed in your flow version of yourself? I don't think I've ever been stressed when I'm like just being able to ideate endlessly. I'm stressed when I'm focused on SI things, or I'm focused on SE things, or I'm focused on TI. Those things stress me out, not my natural state with the NE. The FI can even stress me out sometimes because it's not like my natural mode of being.
I would agree with that.
And I think you can balance your personality. I think you can make yourself less unbalanced with your lead function. You can make yourself less unbalanced, but I don't know if you can change entirely your personality. Could you maybe have a personality break or have dissociative disorder? Maybe. So maybe there's exceptions. There's exceptions to every rule, guys. There is no absolute for anything. Anyway, you go. Your turn.
Okay, should I continue with this or should I tell my story?
Whichever you would like to do more.
Let's continue with this for a second.
Okay.
So, when I went through a really hard time in life after we left the Amish, and I didn't think that I was getting a lot of rejection around the same time. I'd lost all my friends. I was in a very, very bad place, dark place. And I didn't think that my way of being was going to solve the problems that I needed to solve right now. And I think that I NE'd a lot then. Like, I just tried to come up with ideas, and like I tried to envision all these different ways things could go because I thought it would protect me from what I was scared of and would also help me in that situation, because the way that I live the world is I observe, and then because of my observations, I adapt myself, and I had no observations about this outside world at all, but still I was supposed to be able to fit into this new society. And so I think if it's not working for you, you'll use whatever you can come up with to try to work for you.
That's a really good point.
Let's see. Okay, so now the and story. So
Sorry.
the other day I I just said the other day.
Say again.
What? Nathan, what
See
did
what
you say?
happens.
Oh, Nathan just randomly out of the blue said, I would like it if you ended your love affair with And I was like, now say what? I didn't understand what he was saying at all. And he was like, just stop saying the word I was like, Nathan, I never say the word I watch my videos back and I never say the word Turns out he's been cutting all my out of the conversation.
He's probably so tired of like clipping out the little ums.
And then he was like, listen to the message you just sent me. And I had said in that message.
Oh goodness. Oh, people in the chat are transforming types. That's pretty intense. Sounds rough. I cut out ums too. It's a problem. It takes a lot of extra time. I say so a lot when I'm recording. So is like my filler.
Yeah, now
So
everyone's
annoying.
gonna be aware of me saying right. Yeah. The more that I learn about editing, the more I'll be able to edit my own videos, and then I can correct some of my annoying ways of being.
Or you could just be a little bit more deliberate about the words that you say. And if you don't have a word to say, you don't say anything. I had to learn that when I was training, but I kind of got out of the habit. You breathe smoke like a boss?
I have this new incense burner. Is there a way of showing them that?
Oh, I'll grab it.
Well, let me grab it. Here, you chat. You're better at talk.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to. I'm scared to be by myself.
Okay, she's just gonna let me be alone outside in the dark. If I get captured, you guys are my witnesses. She did. She needed her SE break. Annie never needs a break. Unless we're doing SE things. It's true. Oh, Brian just gave a really great point. Barack Obama says and a lot, and people say he's eloquent.
Take that, Nathan.
Sorry, I hope that didn't. You guys are about to see the coolest thing ever. You strive to be Ragnar? Who's Ragnar? Oh, Joel, what's your type? Do you know? Okay, guys, watch this. Watch the smoke.
It takes a second. Oh, no, it doesn't. Lean against me so my leg doesn't move. too windy.
Here, let's bring it closer.
But it's...
Isn't that cool? Oh my god, I'm getting bit by mosquitoes.
Well, the whole point of it is that it's supposed to, that when it's inside, that smoke, what it just did on that top level, goes all the way down into this hole. Oh, you know what we could do? We could use our vision boards to block off
Oh my god.
the wind. They have to see this.
Well, get out of my... Sorry, there's bugs.
Hey, Car, can you bring our vision boards to block the wind?
Oh, that's so sweet of you. And this is annoying me because I can't see what they're saying. Host Eric would smoke that thing. It's just windy on all directions.
I'll show you guys this time next time I do a live.
Should we let them preview? Because are we gonna put this down or are we gonna keep it up?
I might leave it up. Thank you, baby. Should I hold it there?
You gotta do it inside. There it goes. Yeah.
Oh, it's trying. This wind. I'm getting too
so disappointed that you guys can't see this. Listen, come around.
You can picture it. You can imagine. I'll put a little video of it on my channel here this week.
Oh,
in
yeah.
my vlog.
Yeah. Or I can just have it as a treat if you guys come back. We'll do another live before she leaves,
okay.
And we can do it inside.
Yep, that's exactly it. That is what a vision board is.
What?
What Amna said? Amnacon.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a board where you cut out your pictures and post them up to represent your life. Hey, Sheila.
Sheila, hey.
We were talking about the difference of our vision boards. No, it's not FI. It's anyone can do a vision board. I don't think your type really matters. It's really just, do you want to kind of set a vision for where you want to put your life at? People of all different personalities do it. Anyway, mine's crazy any-ness. That's not aesthetically pleasing to the outside eye, but it's pleasing to my eye.
Yeah, if you weren't here at the beginning of the video, I talk about how mine is so NI and how NE hers is. It's funny to look at the difference.
They're great.
Are you hungry?
I am hungry.
Me too.
That's our kind segue for we're gonna...
What are you hungry for? What should we have for dinner?
Oh, hey, buddy. What should we have for dinner? What sounds good? Ha, 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 ha. That's a knee slapper right there.
I've already made you eggs way too many times to be... I want to be a good host, but I've only been feeding her eggs.
We've had plenty of eggs. Oh,
we have Mexican right down the road. Did you want to go get Mexican?
Sure, that sounds good.
Let's do it. I don't work tomorrow.
The hostess with the mostest. Ah. Or there's this website, you might have heard of it. I'm not going to say it because I don't want you to get demonetized. Oh, David, you watch the podcast or you listen to the podcast because there's not really a video with it. Yeah, we are going to have guests very soon. We've kind of been sporadically recording right now, but when we have our schedule worked out and we consistently record at the same time, it's going to be a lot easier for us to get our guests in, because that is something we want to do. What state do we live in? I live in the US of A, in the Midwest.
I live in Kentucky.
Okay, I live in Iowa.
Oh, it's going to do it. Oh, it's so painful. It almost did it.
Oh, you get Chatterbait. Isn't that the same thing as chat roulette? Oh, where are you at, Sheila?
It's doing it.
Oh.
There's a bug on me.
It's a beetle. Oh my god, it's giant.
Flick it off of me.
I'm not going to touch that. It looked like it had a sting. I am not a good friend when it comes to like.
She's like, I'll let
physical.
you die.
True story. Okay, you guys want some true story of like the weakness that is me. So my friend and I, we were doing something with a blowtorch with a group of friends, right? The blowtorch caught on fire, and you know what my reaction was? I ran. I got out of there. You know what my friend's reaction was? Put out the fire because she was intelligent. I was like, it's gonna blow. It's terrible.
It's good we know that in advance so that I don't feel like
I'm the one who needs saving. I am not the person who does saving in that kind of regard. I'm a flight. I run. I get out of there.
I'll save you.
That was the most un-ESTP moment. What was I dealing with a blowtorch? That's for your imagination to fill in. It was a few years ago.
All right, I'm done sharing you, Michelle. Let's go to dinner. Good night, loves. Thanks for being here. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do that. And also, I will link Michelle's channel in the description. Go follow her. She's adorable.
Bye. Have a good night.
How do I sign up? Oh.